One of my clients just forwarded me this report of another agency trying to poach him using AI fear-based marketing. And honestly, this is going on a lot right now. Marketing agencies are taking normal SEO concepts, wrapping them in AI terminology, and selling panic to law firms. In this video, I'm going to dissect this report and separate what's actually real from what's complete marketing theater. Because honestly, if you apply some of this stuff to your firm now, it can really damage and hurt you in the long run. Let's jump in. Okay, so here it is, the legal AI search report for Q2 2026. So here's the first page, AI's most recent evolution that impacts legal marketing. In this new landscape, it's no longer enough for firms to simply appear on the first page of search, ensure their expertise is structured to be retrieved, synthesized, and cited by autonomous AI agents. And this part here really grabs me, which is the risk becoming invisible to a generation of clients who use AI for discovery and evaluation. This kind of language right now is bounded around a lot, and you see it typically when technology is in the hype cycle phase. Am I suggesting that this isn't a new reality where more people are going to use AI search? No. But when people say that it's not enough to appear on the first page of search results, that to me is a little bit unfounded, because we know appearing in the maps pack drives calls. And it's this adapt or die language and this invisible algorithm, you need to act now, this urgent, drop everything and move into this new reality kind of conversation that really, it does grab attention and it helps people it hooks people in, but when it's presented as a you need to act now, from a you need to act now angle, that's when I find it a little bit dangerous. And this kind of idea forms the base for the rest of this report. This emotional language forms the base for the rest of this report. The big shift from search to discovery. So this part, traditional search, keywords, whole pages, traffic, clicks, and this is suggesting that agentic discovery, which is you need to rank in ChatGPT now, conversations and intent, this is kind of suggesting this is what you need to do to rank in ChatGPT. But we already know that a lot of what works for ranking in ChatGPT is the same stuff as classic traditional SEO. It's just this language, conversations and intent, semantic chunks and fragments, citations and brand mentions being a recommended source, prompt summary verification. This part here is the bit that is true to some extent, because yeah, a proportion of people, and I don't think it's ever going to be everyone, are finding who they want to hire via AI first and then going to Google and doing a branded search to complete that query and call the firm. But again, when it's presented as everyone is doing this, I think that's where you can weight your strategy too heavily towards this new stuff and forget all the old stuff that has been working in the past. Let's move on. This part made me laugh a little bit, which is the turbo factor. So the massive breakthrough of Q2 2026 is where Google's turbo quant algorithm, the suite of algorithms, has reduced the time to build a vector to search index to virtually zero, because AI can now index the entire web's meaning instantly. It doesn't need to show a user your whole web page. It weaves specific fragments from multiple sources into a single coherent answer. So it's telling you to use H2s and H3s, keep sections self-contained, eliminate accordion content. So to me here, the what to do section directly contradicts the turbo quant theory. Turbo quant is basically the algorithm, or the way that LLMs can pull information is now more advanced. So it's able to synthesize information from across the web and know what it's talking about. So if it's so advanced, then why do you need to do these little ticky-tack things to help it understand what it's talking about? Surely if it's that advanced, doing these little things are not going to make any difference anyway. Producing good content and ensuring your trusted authority and what you have on your pages is good is going to outrank and do better than these little things. But this to me is just a really clear example of we're going to do X, Y, and Z to prepare you for AI, and it's just checkbox marketing stuff that's not going to move the needle anyway, but it seems like busy work that we're preparing you for AI when it doesn't do anything anyway. All right, let's see more. The Matryoshka Matryoshka principle, answer first writing. So they've got this weak salesy mirroring and the strong retrieval optimized. Post what to do, lead with declarative statements, eliminate floating pronouns, increase entity density. So to me, again, this is something that good legal SEO copywriters have been doing for 15 years now. If you're producing AI slop, then yeah, sure, train your models to produce better content using guidelines like this. But if you're trying to outrank in a high competitive environment or trying to beat firms who are frankly hiring cheaper agencies to produce AI slop, then you should have legal SEO content writers anyway that are producing really bespoke, very good content that just looks and feels different to all the slop that's out there anyway. Unstructured citations and the PR revolution. This part to me was good actually, because right now, local sponsorships, guest appearances, community AMAs, and local journalism, that's where it's at. And for the surround sound SEO, basically what this is trying to say is you need to be mentioned across authoritative and real organizations across the web. And this isn't really an AI thing, in my opinion. This is good local SEO. For years now, local links have been, for me, my priority when it comes to ranking firms, because it shows you're in that actual location and you're trusted within that location. So to me, this isn't necessarily an AI thing. Maybe you need to do more of it now because of AI, but this is good local SEO anyway, and digital PR is now a core SEO requirement. So yeah, they're kind of saying it's an SEO thing without third-party validation. The AI simply won't trust your firm's internal claims of expertise. So it needs something to back it up, and you need these things. So that part's quite good. 92% third-party citations, 54% brand-owned sites, rise of the dark SEO funnel, 84%. Here to me, this is just statistic stuffing. Where did these statistics come from? What source? Like what source? What was the sample size? What study did this come from? It just seems plucked out of nowhere. And I would like to see something that backs this up, some statistics that shows, okay, this is where this came from. This was the sample size. We're seeing this across 500 firms out of 1,000 without a clear backed up number. You can't make decisions about the future of your law firm based on fluffy numbers that are plucked out of nowhere. You need to know exactly what this looks like from a data standpoint clearly. And so when you make your decision, you're making it with full awareness of what you're going into. If you're going into a decision with half-baked data from a firm who's trying to, or an agency who's trying to sell you a service because the narrative right now is AI, and you go into that with full faith but unbacked numbers, you're not making the most informed decision that you can at that time, in my opinion. Agentic Web MCP. So this is about AI to interact with your website's functionality, lead forms without clicking pixels. Websites must be agent ready. A client's AI assistant may communicate directly with your website's agent ready backend to check your availability or submit a case summary before a human ever sees your homepage. So implement schema markup, LLM, MS text or MD files. I'll be frank, this stuff isn't proven to make any noticeable difference right now. We don't know what ranks in LLMs right now. And yes, you want to try things and you want to push the envelope on what you can do to rank in these LLM search models. But again, this is another example to me of just checkbox. Let's just do what people are talking about. Because right now there's a lot of hype around AI, right? Lawyers themselves are scrolling on Instagram Reels and seeing new AI tactic. Claude just did this, Claude just did that. And I'm getting a couple emails a day about, what do you think? Should we try this new thing? And a lot of it, I got one yesterday, which was about basically prompt injecting a button on the website that would force an AI to reference you and cite you. And these stuff, I really have to steer clients away from any of this shady black hat stuff that does not work and will harm your firm in the long term. This stuff isn't on that line yet, but daily I'm getting lawyers ask me, should we try this, should we try that? And a lot of it right now is just noise that you should be ignoring and focusing on the core fundamentals. The AI slop trap and synth ID, why this matters, publishing AI slop. Yeah, This is true. Publishing AI slop can tank your entire domain. What to do: adopt the writing assistant model, insist on information gain, add legal insights. So yeah, information gain, adding some unique information, unique perspective to your articles, that's going to work. What they're saying here is true. This is a good part of it. You need a human expert, which is usually the attorney, and information gain. Dynamic local search, GBP 2.0. AI now uses precise device location sharing to recommend firms, being open. So to me, this again, GBP freshness checklist, any SEO firm worth their salt should be doing this stuff. This is basic local SEO. And again, to me, post a business update or legal tip once a week, upload a new team photo, respond within 48. This is table stakes for local SEO and managing a Google business profile. There's nothing to me in this that links to AI whatsoever. This is basic GBP optimization. Add poaching in the answer engine. So I looked at this. ChatGPT ads now appear in 1 to 5 questions on the free tier. When a user asks about a specific firm, tell me about your firm, the AI may serve a competitor's ad button at the very bottom. So this is kind of like when firms bid on their own brand name in Google search. So a competitor could bid on your brand name and appear above you. So the extrapolation of that is you should also be doing that in AI search, even though it represents a really small part of ad traffic right now. And this is one of those things where it's like another little thing that could work, but makes you feel like you're making progress when you're actually not. And too many of these things, if we bring all of these little things together for trying to rank in an AI platform and neglect all of the core work behind a good solid SEO campaign that doesn't involve hacks and tricks and these unnecessary things that don't move the needle, then my argument is that if you're spending a lot more time on things that aren't proven to work yet and ignoring the things that you know work, that are proven to work, that have been shown to work over time, that have data to back them, then you're flying blind. The core of what you do should be focused on using proven methods, not on chasing random tactics. And okay, so then they say this is the new reality of visibility, the great normalization. I love these kind of terms where they're like, this is the new reality, the new normal, and they get attention and they make you feel a certain way. But saying that a 50% drop in organic sessions is not a failure, it's an efficiency gain, is crazy to me. Like, if you're dropping 50% in traffic, which you will drop some from informational terms, but then to me that suggests you're just publishing crap anyway. The stuff that you should be publishing should have commercial intent and should map to a case. If all your agency's been doing is publishing crap that drops, then why are we having a conversation about that being a good thing? That was a bad thing anyway. Having a success metric, which is branded search volume, AI recommendations, and high intent lead submissions. This is table stakes anyway. The goal of this, of any marketing, is to increase the number of leads that you have in your pipeline, and for that, qualified lead. Why are we not talking about the fact that Google produces way more leads right now than LLMs? Yeah, LLM quality of lead is better and will improve and increase over time, but the amount of attention that we give to that should not be disproportionate to the results that the platform right now produces, plain and simple. And then this was their 90-day action plan, which is GBP audit, identify money prompts. So let's go through this in detail. GBP audit, you should be doing that at the start of an SEO campaign. Identify money prompts. Potential like why? Why are you listing 30 to 50 questions that clients ask, and what are you even doing with that? I don't see what they're doing with that. Implement schema, checkbox marketing. So this is day 1 to 30. You've audited the profile, identified money prompts for what reason, I don't know, and implemented a checkbox marketing thing. So, okay, a lot of agencies in the first 30 days will run some type of audit and then off the back of that make recommendations. But to me, they've done nothing in the first 30 days. Day 31 to 60, rework the top 5 underperforming blogs. Move the core answer to the first sentence of each section. So they're doing some rewrites, surround sound PR, secure 1 guest appearance on legal podcast or feature in a local news outlet to earn unstructured citation and community outreach. So I guess this is where they are starting to rewrite some pages. But again, if you're telling me in 30 days, you're just going to rewrite 5 posts, start doing a little bit of PR, the effect of that's going to be really minimal. And then scaling, enable AI readiness. So you're doing this checkbox marketing stuff that I mentioned before. Monitor dark SEO. Why are you monitoring dark SEO? This is an irrelevant metric right now. Use Google Search Console to track the rise in branded search volume following your PR efforts. Your PR efforts aren't going to take effect in 60 days, and you're monitoring dark SEO to track the rise in branded search volume. Well, that could just increase, not as a result of that. You think one guest appearance on a legal podcast is going to meaningfully impact that? That's crazy to me. And then track AI. This is basic. This should be done day one. Like custom tracking for ChatGPT should be done in day one. You should know where all of your leads are coming from, and in the setup phase, that should be handled. So what would I do in 90 days instead? First off, day 1 to 30, you want to run a full website quality audit and make sure that you see what pages are underperforming, performing well, and crucially what the low-hanging fruit is. Are we in striking distance of page 1 and a money keyword that can lead to high intent searches from people who are looking to hire? So I'm talking your criminal defense X page, your personal injury lawyer Y page in a specific city. We're going to look at your Google business profile and match up what is on your website to your Google business profile, because your Google business profile will rank higher if the iceberg underneath it, which is your website, is set up to match and support that. The Google business profile is where you're going to derive the most calls from, so it's important that we align the search intent behind that and the keyword targeting behind your business profile to your website. After we've mapped all that out and we've identified these low-hanging fruit opportunities that we can attack, that forms the base of our strategy for months 2 and 3. I haven't even finished about what I'm going to do in month 1. So still in month 1, we want to start tracking intake. We will start listening to all of your calls. Where are you dropping the ball? Are you missing them? Intake is often very under neglected in marketing campaigns. We can drive a ton of leads, but if intake is broken or leaking, you're going to miss a lot of that and you're going to miss what you're paying for, quite frankly. Still in month 1, we're going to track everything. We're going to track what leads come from what source. ChatGPT is one of them, but also Google business profile, paid traffic, everything into one sheet. And that in that sheet is also your intake. So we're going to know in one source of truth what's performing well and what isn't, and that is going to give us real insight and first-party data so we can make adjustments as we go. The last thing I'm going to do in days 1 to 30 is I'm going to send an interview to my lawyer client and say, hey, here's 10 questions. Make a video about each of these 10 questions. Those questions are going to be designed to extract perspective, experience, and authority from my lawyer client that is unique. Once I have the answers to those 10 videos, that is going to help us to punch up all of the content we're going to do later in the campaign, because our writers can take that and infuse it into the content. So as you saw, information gain and experience and trust is needed. This is how I'm going to use that. I'm also going to have them produce a couple of videos which are directly mapped to the main keyword that they're trying to target. So criminal defense lawyer X city, personal injury lawyer Y city. And why? Because if we publish those to YouTube, sometimes a video is going to rank above practice area pages. That gives us a shot to cut the line even without ads. Days 31 to 60. Now that's where we're going to start rewriting the money pages that we identified in the first 30 days. We're going to infuse the expertise that we garnered from the videos that we did, and we're going to punch those up. I'm not going to be looking to do 5. If you have 10 service pages that are within striking distance, we're going to rewrite all 5. And we're not going to rewrite them or rewrite all 10. And we're not going to rewrite them for LLMs. This is contradictory and against what everyone else is doing right now. But I'm going to rewrite them for Google search and to rank in Google search, because what works for ranking a page in Google search, which is having contextual depth, having good content quality, is what LLMs reward anyway. So I'm going to focus on that as a base, and I'm not going to rewrite them for robots either. I'm going to rewrite them for human conversion, because my goal is to increase the amount of leads that you get calling your office. I want the page to be structured in such a way that people are going to be like, yeah, I want to call this office. There's easy buttons to click and call. And we want to increase conversions on all of our money pages. So rank and convert. After 30 days, the first 30 days, now we can start looking at your intake because we've been tracking it for 30 days and start recommending improvements. That goes for automations too. We're going to slap automations onto the intake gaps. So if you're missing a lot of calls, we're going to implement a missed call text back automation. If we find that you aren't good at getting reviews, we're going to implement a review automation, and we're going to plug these intake gaps so that in the latter stages of the campaign, all of our efforts are compounding in the right way. And then also in month 2, I'm going to start sending you local link opportunities, high value sponsorship and events to start with, because those are the easiest way to gain a footing in this new digital PR landscape. And I want to send you really solid opportunities. Some of them take a little bit of time to work through. You need to negotiate, go back and forth. So I want to get a comprehensive list of those in front of you ahead of time, and we can select which ones we want to target, which ones are aligned with what you want to support. We don't want to support any willy-nilly event. We want you to actually engage and love what you're supporting and connect to it, because then you're going to want to support it, and you might even go down to the 5K run that you're sponsoring and participate and make some connections and network, right? And then in the final 30 days, what we're going to do is continue improving your money pages, but now we're going to layer on blog content, high authority, middle of the funnel blog content. So this informational stuff is getting warped by AI, but the middle of the funnel, where people are still looking for a solution and one step away from hiring a lawyer, is where it's at. Furthermore, AI is going to recommend articles that answer specific queries. So if you know that you get a lot of doctor clients, a lot of nurse clients, truck drivers, whatever the case may be, we can specifically target your ideal client with content on the website that is going to rank in LLMs. So by the end of 90 days, we're moving directly towards and focusing on pages that directly improve your bottom line, these money pages and things where we're in striking distance to actually make a real impact on your firm quickly. And we're doing these things that work for LLMs too, and helping you rank and secure your position over time, and fixing the fundamental layers underneath the business like intake and automation that also make this sustainable long term. So hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. You can see how we implemented all of these things for a firm over 9 months for great results. Check that out now.